Today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Pickett, she lays it off Teresa Polias. It's an absolute peach. Ayres driving. What a hit from Bulleen. Wow! And Sam Kerr has a hat-trick.
And you know what? We love to take a break on Radio Dub, but we don't mean to. But when we do come back, Lachie, I do feel like we bring what we should bring. Don't you think?
We deliver. Yeah, I feel like this podcast is like the Batman of podcasting. Like
I do make a
we're
Batman
not always
reference.
we're not always there.
Yeah,
we're not always there. But we're there when you need us most.
Exactly.
And I put it to you that there is no time. And look, I'm speaking for the Victorian footballing public here. But there is no greater time to need a podcast that covers the NPLW than on the eve of the NPLW Victoria Grand Final.
I do love Batman. As
we were going to have a day off, but we saw the signal in the sky.
We saw the signal far away.
We saw the podcast artwork being beamed into the stratosphere. It was like, we have to record.
We heard the music. We heard the voice of Teo Pellizzeri in the intro, and we said, we need to come back. Like, how dare we not do what we've tasked ourselves with doing? And I think we delivered today. We've got two amazing guests.
Well, we haven't delivered it yet. There is still quite a lot of the program.
That's true. We could fall on our face and it could not all work. But I have belief in us. We've got two great guests. One from Calder United and Western United now, and one from...
We covered across two guests today who we've spoken to, and you'll get to hear the chats with them soon. We covered 4 clubs across 2 players. It's rare that you get that opportunity, but that is exactly what was bestowed upon us today.
We have a high success rate. What can we say?
Who did we speak to?
Well, firstly, we spoke to Mel Taranto, star midfielder, not to be confused with her sister, but Mel.
Although she is easily confused with her sister.
It took me a while to figure out which was which, but I've figured out a way to figure it out now, and I'm happy for it.
For people who might be going to the grand final, well, Adriana's not going to be playing, but if they see her at the trophy celebration or just around the ground, what's the way to differentiate them? A source did inform me that Mel has lighter hair than her sister. So that's the way I'll be. Radio Dub.
So that's how I'll be trying to do it. If I get it wrong, I'll be blaming that source. And he should be very disappointed in himself. But then we also spoke...
You've just given everyone a clue. Now they know their gender.
Yes, yeah. No.
I'm sweating. I'm panicking.
I'm panicking. And then we also spoke to Paige Zois from the Bulleen Lions, and who just got announced yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, re-signed for Melbourne Victory.
Re-signed for Melbourne Victory. Won the A-League Women's last season with Melbourne Victory.
Indeed. And, went to the Under-20 Women's World Cup as well in Costa Rica.
Yeah, but we had some really great conversations with those two. But I think the most important things that we covered in those 2 interviews was music selection. And I look forward to everybody hearing that because...
Yeah, and look, if you have any thoughts about the music selection of the Calder dressing room or the Bulleen dressing room, because different clubs, they do have different approaches to handling their pre- and post-game tunes. So leave a comment.
Yeah, but I do also feel like we spoke to the DJs. That's who I feel like we spoke to, which I think is pretty impressive. Because, you could have got someone who wasn't allowed to have the phone, and then that would have been like...
That's a testament to your guest booking. I mean, I know that you're this Sunday at Olympic Village at 1 p.m, the kickoff time. You're going to be keeping a pretty keen eye out, not just for the game, but for... You'll be doing a cursory little, walk past the changing room. Just, this is what they're playing. Yeah, okay, I'm on board with that.
There's no way, now that the game is at a closer venue, I most certainly will be making it for kickoff. And I'm excited to... It's going to be at Olympic Village in Heidelberg. Should be good ground to head down to.
Yeah. I mean, I think the big shame for Heidelberg will be that they won't be playing
in it.
Won't be playing there.
But but I think we're going to be in for an exciting game of football, and it's going to be people might say it's the precursor to the main event, but I say this is the main event, Lachie, on Radio Dub, because we care about women's football. And there's some amazing players who, if you haven't had the opportunity to watch them throughout the season, who will be showcasing their talent in this final, and you'll be seeing them in the A-League Women's as well. So it's a really great chance to get in early and be like, I knew who these people were before everybody else did.
You can say you were there when they did this before they hit it big. And if you think about it as well, Pokuah, here's a little point of comparison for you. How many, maybe this is reflective of some wider problems with the footballing ecosystem, but I'm still going to phrase it in this way. How many of the players who will be playing in the NPLW Grand Final on Sunday at 1 o'clock are also playing at the top level in the A-League Women's?
There's a fair
Probably, I would say, when approaching, if not reaching double digits in that figure. I mean, Calder obviously would have probably 7 or 8 on their own back, and
some haven't even been
some of them
announced,
haven't been
there could even be more than we know.
Whereas you compare that the other side of the coin, how many A-League men's players are there playing in the NPL Victoria Grand Final? Well, just the one, which is Joe Knowles. But that's one of 22, whereas probably 50%, maybe even more than 50% of the players that will play in the starting 11s in the NPLW Victoria Grand Final will be A-League women's players.
Exactly, and it's going to be really exciting to see them all out there, and just I love to see what they can bring to a really big stage with that final, and we're going to see exactly how well they can perform in the A-League Women's, because I think a lot of these players have the talent and the quality to succeed in the A-League Women's, and their skills will only get better playing against even tougher opponents. Absolutely.
Well, should we get to our grand final preview and actually hear from the players themselves?
We'll head to a quick break, and then right after the break you'll hear our chat with Mel Taranto this afternoon, and we'll see you after the break.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions. Solutions.
Absolute peach is driving. What a hit from Bulleen! Wow! Absolute peach is driving. Minimum 1-0.
And welcome back to Radio Dub. We we're always away for so long, but when we do come back, we always have great guests. And welcome back. We're disappointed. We're not disappointed with our guests.
No, not with the guests. Not with the guests. I've definitely disappointed you in other ways, as a co-host, but not when it comes to the procurement of guests.
No. We have an amazing guest. And you know what? Our intro music's got some really cool names in there.
It's true.
Maybe this season, this player might join our intro music, because I have no doubt that she's going to kill it. And that's none other than Mel Taranto, who's going to be playing for Western United's inaugural A-League women's side. Mel, how are you, and how are you feeling with the grand final just around the corner?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. The only word I have is excitement. I'm just so excited. I can't wait till Sunday. Sunday couldn't come quicker. In another grand final, I think without sounding too cocky, Calder are pretty used to finals. So I think it's more excitement than nerves. So that's good.
I feel like that's a good thing to be able to brag about, being like, guys, we've done this, been there, done this. It's just part of our, it's just what we do.
It must be nice to have bought the T-shirt so many times.
Honestly, just being like, feeling. This is just where we're at. But how is the squad feeling like? Obviously, you've been in this position before, but is it a different feeling now, like especially with the changes that have happened this week with the ground changing? How's the group feeling?
Honestly, like you two just said, it really is like the message is it's just another game. It's just another final. So obviously we have a different bunch of girls. We did have a lot of 19s elevated. So for them, it's going to be maybe a second final this year apart from the Night Cup. So again, everyone's really excited. It's kind of bittersweet. You know, we were saying this week's our last week of training, which is kind of sad, but you know, the fact that it's on the Sunday, we want to finish on a high note. So I think everyone's the same. We're all we're pretty calm, but again, just so pumped, so excited for Sunday.
You touched on the introduction of all of that sort of young Calder crop that have come through this season, and a group for whom, you know, it was a new challenge for them, and I guess a new challenge for the whole team trying to integrate those players. And something that we've come back a lot to on this program when we've spoken to your coach, Mark, is he wasn't expecting this season to necessarily pan out the way that it had with all those young players, to repeat the trick and, you know, win the Nike FC Cup final, get into the grand final. Wasn't necessarily something he had planned. Has it caught you by surprise as well, or are you know, not shocked at all to see this is where you guys have found yourself once again, you know, just fulfilling the Calder identity, really?
Yeah. It's kind of a yes and no. There's kind of a two-part question. So at the beginning of the year, when we spoke to Mark, and, you know, he was like, look, we're going to have, you know, we had Catherine Zimmerman and Angie Beard leaving, and then we're elevating all these 19s, and, you know, we're going to focus on development this year. You know, we're going to be a strong side, but I'm not sure how we'll go with, you know, all the cups and all that. And I thought, yep, that's fine. Like, I'm happy to have that. I always knew we were still going to have a really strong team. So, yeah, I would say it's a surprise. But then again, once we got started and we started playing and gelling about halfway through the season, I was like, you know what? This is like, we're going to be good. Like, we're going to be a strong team. But again, I think everyone thinks the same. I was kind of in my head, I was like, can we really do it again? Can we win the plate again? Can we do the Night Cup for a fifth time? It kind of just sounds unbelievable, so you kind of doubt yourself, but it's just such an incredible group. So yes and no. At the beginning of the year, it was, you know, a development side. Who knows where we'll end up? But yeah, I like the fact that we're here and we're in another grand final and could possibly repeat our 2019. Like, it's incredible.
Now, obviously, you and your sister play such a pivotal part to that midfield, and you guys, Calder side, have been so great defensively and so great going forward, and you guys have been a part of a lot of those moves. How have you guys, you know, really been such a strong foundation for that Calder side and been a really great anchor in the middle?
I think a big part of it is experience, not only from myself and age, but the whole team. You know, you've got experience in the middle in me, age, and even Emma Robes. You've got the experience from Alex. You got the experience from down back from Jules Sardo, even Ali Rossi and Tash. So I think that's a big part of it, a big part of that. And, you know, that midfield is really, it connects your back line and your front. So to have that experience in those positions, I think is a big win for us. But I don't know. I wouldn't say it's just us two. I say the whole team is just, we all just really care about football and each other. And then that's why we go into it. Go into games so strong, because just like we truly are a second family, and we all care so much about each other and about doing well that that comes out in every single game we play. You know, like I've watched kind of highlights of games, and we'll go to, the ball will be passed back and three of us will be sprinting back to defend one player. And I know those are the times where I look at us and I think, damn, we're a good team. Like, we just care for each other. And that's why we're able to achieve what we can during a season.
Is that why that the defensive record is just as good as, is that good? Because I think the defensive record, every time we have a Calder player on, we're always asking about what's the secret? Because I feel like we need a book. I need to understand how you guys have managed to do this in this league.
I honestly, I don't know either. Like 7 goals conceded in 21 games. I didn't even, like halfway through the year, I think we said we've only conceded 5 goals. We've only conceded, and you kind of just, again, it sounds unbelievable, but I think it's, who was it? I think in the Night Cup, Gabby from Bulleen, the keeper, they were talking about our record and they were saying, their defense is so good. But she actually brought up the point of it actually comes from the top, from Alex and Raquel's pressure. And then she said, try playing through their midfield. Like, that's even harder. And then you get to our defense, which is even harder. So I honestly think it's, again, that massive team effort that playing through us as a foundation, as a team, is already hard enough. And then our backline's just so good with Tash and Ali back there. Like, and Alyssa in goals, she was incredible. She definitely kept our goals conceded to 7 when it probably shouldn't have been. So, again, that whole team.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the goal you guys scored in the semi against FE Emerging is a very good example of what you're saying, because the way you guys won back the ball in the middle of the park before pulling together a sequence of passes that led to the goal, which was it's kind of a shame that the finals goals don't get considered in eventual goal of the year contention, because as a team move, that was one of the best. But you guys had really done all the defensive work in that midfield line, your hard work, Stacey's hard work as well to win back the ball. And that was what created the attacking opportunity. The defense to create that stop didn't have to lift a finger. And yeah, that game against FE Emerging, another clean sheet. Was it as easy as a 1-0 scoreline suggested? Because FE Emerging have been a difficult team to beat this year, and you guys have had close results before as well.
Yeah, no, it definitely was not easy. It was the way we played. We kind of played with a false 10. So me and Alex as the 9 and 10 would switch. So we had a game plan, but no, it was definitely not easy. FE are an amazing team and they have very dangerous players, and that was kind of the message. The message was we have to be really aggressive, because you give these players an inch of space, they can be dangerous. Do you know what I mean? Like they can pull goals from anywhere. So no, it was definitely harder than a 1-0. In saying that though, I think we should have had about 5 more goals, which is probably our running thing for the season. So, no, yeah, definitely a difficult game. But, yeah.
It's kind of a scary thought to think about you guys being in the change rooms at full time going, we should have scored more when you've already scored so many for the season. Imagine if you were hitting all of those ones that you should have put away. That God. That would be truly, truly frightening.
It would be.
Obviously, you've done a lot of that sort of hard work to win back the ball in the midfield over the course of this season, and I'm sure you've spoken about it to different people before, that the concept of twin powers, it is a thing that exists.
It's what Western use for when we're announcing.
That might go some way to explaining why, Mark and Western have brought both of you in for the upcoming A-League Women's season, which we'll talk about later. But obviously, Aid's been suffering with that sort of quite nasty injury that she sustained a bit of the way into the season, and I guess there were some people who were worried, is that going to affect how Mel plays? Because classic twin powers thing, if if they're not there, how's it going to work? But you've still pushed on to have a stellar season. What is the relationship beyond the obvious terms like between the two of you, and how much are you looking forward to returning to A-League women's football with her by your side?
Yeah. Oh, it's a different feeling when she's on the pitch, not only for myself, but for the team. Like she was our vice captain and also a very key player. She's that playmaker in the midfield. So, when she was injured and it looked like it was a long-term one, it was a big blow for us. But I think for me, I actually had this conversation with her not long ago, and I said, playing now, everything's just like harder without her in there. So I guess it's kind of like, yes, we have that little bit of magic when we're both there and on the ball, but yeah, I said that it's just harder without her there. So she was, again, a key player for our midfield, a key player for me, but she's doing all right. And I think we managed without her. Obviously we're winning, probably not as much as, again, not scoring as many goals as we should, but yeah, she was a key player. But no, we're good. Our relationship's pretty good, I guess. Pretty much same on the field. We either love each other or we're screaming at each other. So it's pretty much the same outside of football.
That's very good. I mean, I guess it probably becomes harder for you as well because the marking situation also becomes easier for your opponents because if someone else, you've got to be tracking Taranto and they go follow the wrong one, then, you know, everything's out of shape.
We've actually played people who have said that. They're like, which one are you? Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong one. I better go over there. So, I guess for me, it actually, again, like I said, it's harder without her, but I think that makes me step up as a player a little bit. Like sometimes I would rely on her like she would rely on me in the midfield. Like, oh, yeah, Paige will deal with this ball or she'll make that run or she's smart enough to do that. Whereas now I do have to be, I feel like I do need to step up a bit more, especially like we look at position-wise. She was playing that 10 role, which was a bit more of an attacking midfielder, and I was more of a defensive of an 8, whereas now I've had to push up. So, you know, I feel like, oh, now I need to score goals or I need to assist. So, again, her injury was a tough one, but I think I've had to step up, which is probably maybe a good thing for me as a player. But I definitely can't wait till she's back. I do miss playing with her again.
I want to just quickly ask, where were you and how did you guys find out that you guys were both going into heading in to play for Western United next season? Was it like one person found out first or did you both find out at the same time?
There were conversations, obviously, just over the phone and stuff like that. But because Paige works with Mark at school, he does a lot of stuff there. And so there was a lot of talk, a lot of, you know, what's happening and things were said, you know, like, you know, you girls we want you both, blah, blah, blah. But it officially didn't come. I think we were both home. She had just gotten home from school, from work, and we were sitting there and I opened my emails and I was like, Paige, do you have an email? And she's like, oh, wait. And she made me wait until I opened it to get her laptop. And then she opened it and then she goes to hug me, but I don't like hugging her. And she's like, you have to give me a hug. And I was like, okay. She was like, congrats. And I was like, oh, nah. So it was cute. We were both home. We both opened it together. We replied together. We sent it back together. It was just it was a good feeling because we've both been pushing to get back into it since victory. And it's been a few years since then. And we thought, you know, 2019 was an amazing year for us and for Calder. And we thought, yep, we're going to get into it. And then the whole pandemic happened. So to do this well this season with our team and to finally be given that opportunity, it was a great feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think everyone who's watched you two play for over a number of seasons now in the NPLW is relieved for you, much in the same way we were with Alex too. Just like, these people deserve to have this opportunity. Does it sort of help you not making that step up, but returning to that stage, knowing that you will have so many familiar faces alongside you as you make that transition? Not just Mark, but you know, a large core of the teammates as well.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's like the number one thing I've said is I think we're going into this league as a very strong team because we have that foundation. Like we already to pull it, you know, the A-League, W League used to be you grab a bunch of good players, you have a few weeks of preseason and you make them play together. And it was kind of too short. Players really didn't get to know each other and that showed on the field. Like you have really good individual players, but they just didn't know how to play together. Whereas Calder, like we've been playing, a few of us that have been signed from there, we've been playing together for a whole year, 21 games, some of us longer than that. So that foundation is already going to be there. Like I already know how Emma Robers plays. Do you know what I mean? I already know how Alyssa plays. So she knows how I play. She knows what ball I can handle and things like that. So that foundation is already there. then like the rest of it, you build that up with your other great players, internationals. The rest of it will come. Do you know what I mean? But to have that foundation, and also from a soccer perspective, but from a personal perspective, you're going to be playing with your mates. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to kind of not waste time, but take time to get to know people. It's just you're already there.
You spoke about it just a little bit earlier about how it's been a while since you've been back, at the top flight of Australian women's football. Is it kind of like a revenge tour for you to be like, I should have been here earlier almost?
Yes and no. I think other circumstances are involved in all of that, but I think it was more with when we were at Victory. I was very young, and the league was completely different in terms of everything, in terms of games, players involved. Like it was really different. So yes and no. I'm just honestly happy to be playing in a professional setting again, and to be playing with my mates from Calder, and to be having, and even Western United, like meeting Chris and Jason, they just, talking to them, they just care so much about women's football. They don't just say it to be like, oh, look at me, women's football. Like they really mean it, and they're so for all the young ones, and they really want development. So yeah, yes and no. I kind of want to go out there and be like, this is what you were missing, but also just honoured to be playing there again.
Yeah, and I think it's like, obviously excitement is like it's the easy word to use, but it's not just like it's not just for you guys, but it is sort of for everyone. You wouldn't meet anyone who watches the A-League Women's, is in and around that space, to be like, oh, I'm not, I'm actually quite disappointed that Western United, that we have a new team in the league or anything like that. But the young focus as well. I mean, we even saw as recently as today someone like Silver Bell Morris being brought into the squad, who's had a great season with FE emerging. Helen Winterburn obviously is going to be the assistant coach under Mark, all of those kind of things. And that, again, it's a great thing that's in store for us, season 22-23 of the A-League Women's, but you still got to, tick off the present day list, which is, again, winning the grand final this weekend. You want to sort of have a repeat of that 2019 season, if at all possible. And in that sense, quite fitting that you guys have managed to be drawn against Bulleen for this one, as they pulled off a bit of an upset over Heidelberg United. How are you feeling about the prospect of facing them? Because they've had a bit of an interesting season in the sense that they've got definite quality, but have had a few off games here and there as they've battled absentees and that sort of thing. But at their absolute best, they are a really competitive side. So you can't be, while you guys are the favourites, you could never feel quite comfortable against a side like that. I'm interested to know where your head's at going into the game.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we're the favourites. I think both are very strong teams, and I can say I love playing against Bulleen, just because Bulleen versus Calder, it's it's going to be a good football game. Like good football's going to be played. And even speaking to some of the Bulleen players, they love it as well. They love the challenge, they love the physicality, but also that we play good football. But yeah, Bulleen are a good team. I never really like looking at the other team. I just want to focus on our team, because I think us at our best, you won't beat us. Do you know what I mean? So I think if we focus on ourselves and we do everything what we can do right, we'll be, unstoppable. But again, Bulleen are an amazing team. They have been a bit up and down. I think they've had a lot of players in and out. So I think they're going to have their strongest team on the weekend, which again, a little bit unpredictable, because I think the first time we played them was when they kind of had all their key players there, and that ended in a 1-1 draw. So, again, I think if we play our best, we'll be all right. But again, Bulleen are a great side, and I think it's just going to be a good game. That's why I'm just so excited, because I just think it's going to be great.
See, I'm excited, to head into the game, because, when I grand final time, it's all about the drive there, the pre-match music, to get me ready.
The build-up,
The build-up, Of
course.
So I want to know, Mel, what's your pre-match build-up getting to the game?
Oh God, I'm like all over the place. Like I don't have one song. There's recently I just found a song. It's very old school. Her name's Eve. She's a rapper.
No. You see, Mel, you just a few months ago I was on this extreme ride. Scorpion is one of the greatest albums ever. But Mel, continue. Sorry.
Scorpion, Tambourine from Scorpion.
It's a great,
banger,
sensation.
Honestly, you need to listen to it. So that gets me G'd up.
I feel like I have to listen to it now because this is just over my head.
On Grand Final Day, put that on because it'll get you so G'd up. But I'm very much like I like R&B. I'm not into like bangers. I like a good R&B song. I love J. Cole, Eminem, even just some old school like Queen, play some of that. But yeah, it depends what I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll just get in the car and put shuffle, and then a song that I haven't heard on ages will come on and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pump this up.
Does this mean you are the Calder United DJ? Because if you aren't, I want to know who's got better music taste than you at the moment.
You know what's funny, Julia. You need to go talk to Julia Sardo because she's our in charge of our Calder playlist.
Okay.
We have kind of similar taste, but they do like their bangers. Which I'm not a big fan of. But we have a good mix for the change room. We have a good mix.
So we like that, Lachie. This is why I'm in charge of the music.
That's why Pokuah is the designated Football Nation radio DJ. Clearly, she knows what she's doing. I don't know where I sit on the banger scale, but I'll leave it in your capable hands, Pokuah.
Well, Mel, thank you for joining us, and good luck on the weekend. Hopefully, you guys can take out another victory for Calder, which is not really, it's special, but you guys are just so used to it that I don't know.
They're all still special, surely.
They are. They are, of course. But again, thank you, Mel, for joining us, and we will hopefully should have you on the show soon. Back again.
Thank you so much for having me. Anytime. This was very enjoyable. We can talk about music anytime you want.
Yes. We need to go down to Western United's training, and that's what we need to do. Hang out with them about music. That's what we need to do.
Perfect.
Done.
Well,
we won't train. Listen to music the whole time.
Absolutely.
We'll schedule that in. But in the meantime, Mel, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck for the weekend. And here on Radio Pokuah, we're going to head to a little bit of a break.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are...
Pickett, she lays it off. Teresa Polias. It's an absolute peach. Ayres driving. What a hit from Bulleen Ayres. Wow. And Sam Kerr has a hat-trick. Minamar, 1-0.
And welcome back You know what? We just spoke to Mel Taranto. Great interview. Really enjoyed catching up with her. But it's not fair to head
You just liked her because she appreciated your taste in music.
Absolutely,
That's the main
Lachie.
reason.
I'm selfish like that. I'm
That's
an
okay.
egomaniac, and I
That's
appreciate
all right.
that. But it's not fair to go into a grand final weekend to talk to only one side of the draw.
You got to have both sides of the
You
coin.
got to have both sides of the coin. So we said, who's a great player that we could pick? Who's a great player who's going to be available? And you know who answered the call like Batman signal? Paige Zois. Paige, how are you? And thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really good, thanks.
It's good. Now, Paige, you're heading into the grand final. Last time you were in a grand final, your side was in a grand final, lifted a trophy. It was nice.
It didn't end too badly.
It didn't end too badly.
Yeah.
You know, got a medal out of it, celebrations all around. How are you feeling heading into this grand final?
Oh, I'm so excited. Obviously, lifting the trophy with Melbourne Victory was absolutely unreal, and I've got a bit of a taste for it. So now I just really want to be able to do that on the weekend. I'm really excited to be a part of it. Yeah.
Well, and this has just been like a whirlwind last few months for you as well, obviously playing in the NPLW, making it through to the NPLW Grand Final, also being in the Under-20 Women's World Cup as well. I mean, have you had a chance to take a breath in the last couple of months? I'm tired just thinking about the list of things you've had to do over that stretch.
Everything's kind of come like really, really fast, but I can't complain. I've honestly had the most amazing time. I've been learning so much and just kind of gaining experiences. So, yeah, like I said, it came really fast, but I'm just so glad that I've been able to do everything and really kind of happy with where I am at the moment. Yeah.
What was it like heading to that the Under-20s World Cup? And, you know, getting back and then having to get back into the NPLW season again, what was that all like for you?
Well, firstly, like playing in a Youth World Cup was incredible. We played against some pretty crazy opposition, so being able to be up against the kind of world's best, I guess, was really eye-opening, and it taught me so much. And then I guess coming back into NPL, I'm just kind of trying to bring everything that I've learnt back into it. And obviously, like having to adjust back to my team, like I was away for a very long time, so getting back into the rhythm of things with them took a while, but I think we've really kind of gelled now, and we're ready to go.
And no, Lachie, you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I'm tired just hearing about the list of things that you've had to do. You said you took it like obviously some big learnings against playing against the kind of teams you did in that World Cup. What do you think was the sort of fundamental takeaway from that experience? Because you are playing, you know, some prominent countries. You guys got a win on the world stage as well, which is massive. What was the biggest takeaway from that sort of journey through Costa Rica?
I'd say that getting the win against Costa Rica in front of, I think it was maybe 25,000 people, just kind of instilled the belief in me personally, and then like Australia as a team, that we definitely have the quality and we are good enough. So I think that was pretty incredible. And then I think when we played against Brazil and Spain, we definitely held our own and we gave it a really good shot and we looked good in moments. So I think really just playing in that World Cup and giving it a real good crack and putting in some pretty solid performances pretty much just instilled that we have some really good players up and coming, and the development is there.
And it was a crowd of 25,000, as you said, but a large portion of that crowd would have been, you know, in support of the home side, and understandably so. So those are difficult conditions, and you guys managed it well. See, one thing Pokuah and I appreciate about your game in the NPLW is you don't mind a shot from distance, a shot from range.
Lachie, I love
Not afraid of that sort of
shot.
thing. So to that end, you must have been. Were you slightly jealous when Alex Pennell scored that outrageous free kick from such a long way away? Even though you got the last laugh, you would have been like, "Damn, that's pretty impressive."
When I saw that, I was like, "Wow, go her!" Like that was pretty incredible. But obviously, like it really stung in the moment because we wanted to be the ones on the ball scoring that goal. But when I did like finally watch it back after the game, I was like, "Wow, that was pretty cool." But I would have loved to be on the other end of that, taking that one for us. But it is what it is.
You see, Lachie, I love a long-range strike. Personally, it's my favourite shot because the crowd goes wild and everybody's like, stops for a minute and goes, was that real? Or were they just trying to cross the ball in?
And also, even if it doesn't work out, you're like, I still appreciate the fact that person was trying to wow us. You know, I respect that.
What's been your favourite moment from this NPLW season? Like, a goal that you've seen, actually?
Like my favourite goal?
Yeah, what's your favourite goal you've seen?
Oh, that's a hard one. It was really recent. It was actually in the semi-final. The one that Leah Privatelli scored against Heidelberg in our semi-final. I think it just kind of illustrated our hunger and relentlessness. And when she pressed and won the ball off their defender and scored, it just kind of illustrated how hungry we are as a team. And it really just shows that we'll fight to the end. And I think, that's probably my favorite, because I think it shows that we're really hungry and we can just fight.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that semi-final. Obviously, the win over Heidelberg is what's gotten you to the big dance this coming weekend against Calder, and you guys found yourself behind but managed to turn it around once you got the equalising goal in a matter of moments, really. How did you see the game?
Obviously, I think we had an all right start to the game in the first half. I think the first 10 minutes we did have a few chances, but I think as the first half progressed, we they kind of capitalized and got on top of us and obviously scored. But I think credit to us, we didn't drop our heads at any point. There was no point where personally, I never felt that we were going to lose the game. I knew that we could fight till the end and really win. And Heidelberg were really great opposition. They've been a really good team all season, so we knew it was going to be hard. But I think we've got lots of young players and experienced players, and I think we all came together and really showed that we have belief, and no matter what adversity we face in the game, we can get on top of it.
And you guys have sort of got a similarity to Calder in that sense, not just because of the team unity, but you know, a lot of the Calder players are also going to be teammates in the A-League Women's with Western United, whereas in the case of Bulleen, there's quite a big crossover where there's a few players who are sort of double teammates, you know, plenty of people from Victory and from Bulleen. So it probably helps that you know, that group and you guys want to fight for each other. The other person who's been involved in that, but not in a playing capacity this season, has been Kayla Morrison. Now, we've seen her as a sort of assistant coach this season. We've seen her on the bench a lot. What kind of role has she played within the squad this season, even though she hasn't been out there on the park?
Kayla, yeah, she's a crazy personality. I think wherever she is, she can just kind of lift the team morale up. So I think we're really lucky to have her a part of our journey at Bulleen. And she's always hyping us up, always can keep a level head and tell us things that we need to work on. So I think she's been a really important part of our team, and we're just lucky to have her.
Now, when heading into this Calder game, I think Calder, from a lot of people, would probably be the favourites just because of the season they've had. But you guys have beaten Heidelberg, who finished second as the season went on. Does that give you a lot of confidence beating Heidelberg and then going to face Calder, being like, we've beaten one of the best sides in the league and we can do this?
Absolutely. I have a lot of respect for Calder. I think they play some great football and they've been outstanding all season. But I do think that it's a grand final. Anything can happen. In the A-League, we saw it when we beat Sydney FC, and people probably expected Sydney to win. So it just proves that it's one game and anything can happen. And I do think beating Heidelberg did give us the confidence we needed. And I just guess anything could happen.
I guess that feeling is sort of mutual, because when we were speaking to Melissa Taranto before, she's like, Bulleen is my favourite team to play in that sort of NPLW calendar, because you know that the standard and the quality of football and the approach from both sides is going to be high quality, and particularly when you guys have been at full strength this year, which is, a challenge you guys have had to manage. You've been in and out of the side, of course. The results and the performances against Calder have been really competitive. Obviously, at the start of the year, you guys had that 1-1 draw. Does that give you confidence, not only to have knocked off a team close by in Heidelberg, but to know when this team is at its absolute peak, everyone's available, you can take it to this Calder side that has been hard to find true challenge this season?
Yeah, definitely. I think that we have obviously faced a bit of a challenge with players being injured, going away on international duty and taking offers overseas. So we haven't really had the continuity, but I think we're kind of gelling at the right time. And yeah, it will be a tough battle against Calder. We know how good they are, but I think both teams have quality, and I think it will be a really good game of football that I'm excited to play a part in.
You spoke about, having the players in and out. How do you guys keep that unity and keep the morale up, especially when players are going to different opportunities? How do you stay united as a group and stick with the type of football that's made you really competitive throughout the league?
I think it comes down to our team culture. I have never been a part of a team so close. We're kind of like a little family off the field, and players that have left, we've had young ones come up and fill the role, and like Rosie Rogers and Araha Little, they have really stepped up and played some really good football. So I think we have the belief that anyone that steps on the park can do the job. And yeah, I think that just stems from our team culture.
Has playing alongside some of those younger players adapted how you've approached?
Look, you're saying younger players.
No, I know.
Like Paige is not
this
very
is
young.
why I'm
What's
asking the question.
What's going on?
This is why I'm asking the question, because we know that, in the NPLW, the players who come through and play senior football do skew younger. So someone that is even your age, Paige, can be considered a senior experienced head. But has that sort of experience of playing with those kind of players who are still young, still fresh to the scene, adapted how you've been, going about things? Have you had to become more of a leader, more talkative out there on the pitch? Has it had a, market impact on the way you go about things?
I guess you could say that a little bit. I think last season for Bulleen, I kind of felt like a more of like a younger kind of player. But I think as we've brought in more younger girls, I think I've tried to find my voice a bit more and tried to become a bit more of a leader. I used to be pretty quiet on the field, and I'd like to think that I've raised my voice a bit, which is good. But yeah, I think you could say that.
Is that a hard thing to do as a player? Because obviously the A-League Women's is a whole different environment where you're playing with players who just have these incredible CVs, and to speak a word to any of them sounds like an impossible feat. But even at the NPLW level, you've got so many of those players who are experienced senior heads with victory. Has it been hard for you to sort of develop that voice, as you said?
I wouldn't say hard. I think the older girls in the team have really taken me under their wing, like players like TJ, Leah Privatelli and Tiff. They've always been so supportive of me and kind of have kind of let me grow a lot. And they always give me advice. And I don't think that I kind of feel like I can't really speak. I feel like they've really pushed me to find my voice and be the leader in the team. Yeah.
And heading into the A-League Women's season, do you want to apply that more to when you're there at Melbourne Victory and, playing more games and really establishing yourself even more than you already have heading into this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I really do want to establish myself a lot more. I think I've been with this group of girls for a long time. I've been under Jeff for quite a while, so I think I'm ready to kind of come out of my shell and play a bigger part in the team this season, definitely.
Well, you talk about the strength and the culture of this Bulleen dressing room. I want to know how that relates to the sort of pre-match prep in the game. Pokuah asked it of Mel Taranto, so I think it's only fair that we extend you the same right. She was, explaining what music she likes to listen to for her sort of pre-match preparations. Who's in charge in the Bulleen dressing room? What does it sound like on a Bulleen match day going into a game?
Good question. It kind of changes who's on the tunes, but we have a massive speaker, first of all, if that just gives you a bit of context. And it's quite like a small dressing room where we are, so it is pumping in there. And I think one of the issues is that we're all so hyped all the time. Sometimes, like a minute before we get out, we need to bring it down and just concentrate. But I think it's a good vibe to have. Everyone's always loud, smiling. There's not much quiet. So, yeah, hopefully that's given you a bit of context. But
I mean, I'm actually impressed that you guys are able to be so democratic with the sharing it. Like usually in any dressing rooms, it's one person. They're the DJ. They're in charge. Here at the station, Pokuah is in charge of the tunes. But you guys are, open to suggestions. That's
kind of open. Like I feel like sometimes I'm on the tunes and Tiff Eliadis will steal my phone because she wants to put throwbacks on and everyone's cracking it at her. That's kind of how it goes.
Okay, so it's not quite as peaceful as perhaps I thought then is what you're saying.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
What's your go-to, like, that everyone is going to be like, point at Paige going, Paige, you just picked an absolute banger. What's that song that it hits?
Oh, okay. So like our Bulleen kind of banger before we go out is called Got Me Feeling.
Okay.
It's like a little secret, so maybe I shouldn't have shared it, but that's completely fine.
Nobody heard it. Nobody knows about it.
It's already gone. I can't remember.
We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it over.
We'll bleep it in the podcast. It just will be gone. That question out of there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But no, see, this is my thing. Yeah, I would have to I wouldn't share because I couldn't do the whole sharing thing. It'd have to be like a rotating list of like, this is who's going to play it, this is who's going to play it. And then I would ultimately get the phone myself because I couldn't let anybody else.
Absolutely. That's how it goes usually. I think Alana Yanchevsky started going around the change room asking for options, but I was honestly like, oh, just give me the phone. Like,
let me cook.
Let me. Chef's cooking here, guys. Just take a step back.
Yeah, I mean, even just willingly, letting someone else steal the phone, to hand the phone over to Lee, that's a big responsibility too.
Oh, I agree. I've actually worked out Alana's passcode, so I just take the phone and start playing music.
That's it, Paige. That's it. You can't
just install the Face ID. Just don't even need to worry about it anymore.
Sometimes you can't let some people have the phone. You've just got to take the authority and be like,
that's a good point. Is there someone who has such a bad taste in music that they can't be trusted with the phone? They're not allowed.
I would say Tiff Eliadis. She can play one good song, but then it's over from there.
It's like a one roll and then
too rangy,
yeah, and then
Because everyone's so young, so the music she plays, it doesn't bring the vibes up because we're just too young for it.
That's Calder have the same problem where it's like Mark Dorcaso and Alex Sinclair that they have all these songs that they both share that they really enjoy together, and everyone else, the rest of the dressing room is like, can't be dealing with this, can't be. So I mean, really, there'll be a massive battle on the pitch. The other battle off the pitch will be who has the superior dressing room vibes. That's fascinating to keep track of as well, I think.
Yeah, I would love to know if anyone wants to go have a peep at both our change rooms and let me know.
Just cup a hand to the dressing room. Or what are Calder up to?
This is what I feel like we should incorporate into NPLW next season, or even the A-League Women's. We need the massive speaker, the person at the front carrying a massive speaker playing whichever.
I mean, even
songs.
What speaker does each team have? Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining like a massive Yui boom, but I'm not sure if that's how it works.
Bigger than that. We think bigger.
We
than
have the wheelie one. Like it's quite big.
Okay, that's heavy duty.
Heavy duty. And they should come out with it, playing their collective music, and then whichever one the crowd likes better, we shut the other team's music off.
Are you suggesting a dance battle? Because I would be all for that.
Halftime competition. We got a dance battle.
That's the real NPLW grand final. Is who is the superior troupe of dancers? That you're asking the right questions. Well,
Bulleen would take that out definitely.
Look, if you want to at halftime, more than welcome to test out that theory. We can
no worries.
We can run that past the right people. But as for the actual football, we know that Calder are a difficult assignment. But as we've said, when you guys are at your absolute best, this Bulleen team are capable of beating Calder on any given day if you're at full strength. What are you expecting at Olympic Village this Sunday, and what would it mean given this sort of reign of Calder control? Obviously, Calder getting the win over Bulleen in the 2019 grand final. What would it mean to overcome them and to take this grand final off them?
Oh, it would mean absolutely everything. I've actually never played in an NPL grand final before, being at NTC for so many years where we haven't been able to play finals. So something like this kind of experience will be new to me, but I definitely think that you can expect a really hardworking Bulleen team that will fight till the end. And, to be able to lift that trophy at the end will be a great feeling. So, yeah, we're all buzzing.
Well, I look forward. Lockie, you're going to be at the grand final?
I will.
I'll be at the grand final. Paige is definitely be at the grand final. we're excited to see.
That would be a shock
That'd
if
be
she
shock.
wasn't. That would be very alarming.
Like, what's going on? Where's the dance battle that we were promised?
Yeah, exactly.
Paige, thank you for joining us, and good luck on the weekend. And hopefully, you guys can take out the win and put on some great music. I feel like you guys should walk out.
A great performance, hopefully, as well.
Exactly.
We should stress.
Come on, please. But yeah, good luck, and thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.